given to the South India. Now, like Rahmat Khan, many other musicians started coming to Dharwad and encouraging the Hindustani music. Why I am telling is, this is just a background. Now, another important point I just to bring to you is that Dharwad music is not like any other places. These people who encourage the youngsters for music, see, these music learners had to struggle a lot in those days. People or the artists who were born before 1930, they had to move in search of their teachers, and also they had to struggle for their livelihood. Even Bhimsen Joshi, for example, had to work in the place in Kundgod, in his teacher's house, and earn his livelihood and learn music from Mr. Narge. But they made a point that achievement of knowledge is more important than other factors. This is a lesson for our youngsters also today. So those people had to search for their food as well as for their teachers, and they achieved it. But those who were born after 1930, they were a little bit lucky. They had a teacher available nearby, but for their livelihood, they could have a job, they can continue their education, and also their family is there to look after them. Now, why I am bringing this fact to your mind is, take the life of Mr. Mansoor or Mr. Bhimsen Joshi or Gangubai Hangal. Gangubai Hangal had to travel every day from Hubli to Kundgod to learn music. So it was not so easy. The Malikan Mansoor had to run from place to place to learn music. Bhimsen Joshi also had to run for his education of music from place to place, and also he had a lot of problems. But after 1930, there are many great musicians who have come up. They are all been lucky that these musicians started giving. Now, Mysore Maharaja used to do one more thing. He used to invite these musicians and encouraging them a lot. One of the musicians in Dharwad, whom you must have heard, is one Mr. Prahlad Hambad. He was born in 1912. He learned his music from Mr. Pitre, and he was a flutist, not a vocalist. So this flutist, he had a chance to play his flute in front of Maharaja of Mysore. He was so pleased, Maharaja was so pleased with his music, and he asked him to accompany him in his Europe tour. A young boy of 28 years who was playing flute in those days gave a performance in the Buckingham Palace of London and the Vatican City before Pope Paul, and also in many other places of Europe. So this is the advantage for Dharwad that the musicians have achieved in those days in spite of any other resources or help for them. But those who are born after 1950 or 1960, Dharwad has changed a lot. The musicians have come up very well. The thing is, they are not stuck up to Guru Shishya Parampara, or they didn't have to stick up to only one teacher, but they have achieved greatness by diverting their music talent in various other fields of music. Now, Dharwad music has a few significant factors. That is, Dharwad, one is it has an advantage of these literary people who have provided the poetry, the poems, and these poems have helped them in developing the music also, that is the Sugama Sangeeta. And there was a Gamak also, there is another style of music, that also came up during this period, and that also developed in Dharwad and surrounding areas, the music achievements. But after this background, I just give you a few examples of how this music has made in surrounding areas a basis. Now, the Akashvani came in 1950, because I am not elaborating too much because you may not be we get bored with that statistics and those things. Akashvani came into existence in 1950. But the 1950, by the time Akashvani came, there were a good number of musicians available in Dharwad or surrounding areas. Akashvani boosted up their morals and also encouraged them to take up other forms of music. So, the Akashvani was a pioneer in developing the Sugam Sangeeta, Gamaka and classical music. The Saturday program, which used to come at 9:30 every Saturday, was a great interest, or a great attraction for most of the Dharwad and surrounding people to listen. But what happened was, the radio, which was encouraging the artists from Dharwad and surrounding areas, started a method called as gradation. This gradation, you know, they used to take an audition test or a recording, and then there was sent to Delhi, and in Delhi they were decided whether they are A grade artists or B grade artists or C grade artists. But the point is, this was decided by the people who are thousands of miles away, who are not aware of certain facts which are locally. Now, for example, a singer or an artist, when he plays, the time and his mood or his conditions are more important to render the best out of his talents. But if it is not there, then they are likely to lose their grade and are likely to lose their even passing the grade test. So many of the musicians were failed or failed to achieve the grades which they are expecting. So there are many group of people from music who were not be selected by All India Radio because of the gradation. But see, these people who have not been selected are also born to Dharwad. These people went to other lines. They selected the music composition or music classes or propagation of music in different areas like cassette manufacturing or CDs manufacturing or other areas of editing. In film music, for example, in film line or the AIR and Doordarshan. But with all said and done, Dharwad has contributed in other periods of music. Now in this Sangeeta Sangama, I'll come back to the book only. What I want to say is, the musicians have come up in all other places. But the music is in the roots. That means you come to Dharwad, just see any lane, any road or any suburb you take, you find there are musicians and music teachers. There is a saying in Dharwad, if you throw a stone in a marketplace, it touches a person, and that person is either a literary man or a musician. And you go to any other suburb, you find either a music teacher or the book publisher. This is also another saying about Dharwad. Now I tell you a few examples of Dharwad musicians, just as a lighter side of story. See, the drama, Marathi influence was a little bit there. The dramas, when introduced the music also got a little bit more advantage because the music was popular in dramas, and most of the dramas were people were listening to the songs sung by the different artists of the dramas. So even Mallikarjun Mansur, for example, or Basavara Rajguru, or Bhimsen Joshi, or anybody, they all have participated in these dramas, and they became popular earlier because of these dramas also. But later, of course, they shifted only to the classical music and left these things. These Marathi dramas, Kannada dramas, which were also started using music or singing in the dramas were becoming more and more popular. Now many times the situations have come like this. Mallikarjun Mansur was singing as a Bhakta Prahlad in one of the dramas. His singing was so popular and so touchy to audience They asked him to sing again and again, and he sang for 7 times in the same drama. The same song. And another situation, I just read it from the book rather than telling you. The Draupadi Vastraparani, all of you have heard. So during that Mahabharata story, that Draupadi Vastraparana, when Dushyasana was holding this one end of the sari, at that time Draupadi was praying Lord Krishna to help her from this situation. So at that time classical music was introduced in the dramas. So Draupadi started singing, and she started singing not only for few minutes but for more than half an hour. It was said that she sang about 45 minutes, and this Dushyasana was holding the one end of the sari. So such situations are also happening. Another example I tell you, there was one instrument player in Dharwad. These Dharwad people, how much they struggle and interested in music, just what I just want to stress upon it. There was a musician in Dharwad, you know. He is a very famous instrument player, a harmonium. During his younger days, he had to practice harmonium to become a good harmonium player. So what else? He had hired a room to stay in Dharwad. He was learning from a teacher, and he was practicing harmonium all through the day. And what happened? The surrounding people got bored. They were been a little bit annoyed by continuously hearing this sound of harmonium, that to practicing harmonium. So they requested him not to play the harmonium the entire day, or at least during certain periods of the day. But he didn't listen. He was a young man, very with hot blood. So he said, no, why should I bother? I am practicing for my sake. So they requested a number of times. The owner of the house also requested a number of times. He didn't listen. Then they reported to the police station. So one day a police officer came to his room. He said, you are disturbing the surrounding area. Unless you stop the harmonium, otherwise I will take you to the jail. He thought that he just joking. He said, if you take me to the jail, I will play to the inmates of the jail and entertain them. He said, no, there is a complaint. I will arrest you and put you in the jail. Then he said, just lighter, on the lighter side, if you don't want me to play the harmonium or practice the harmonium, which is going to be my livelihood in my future days, what should I do then? Then the police officer, who was in a very bad mood at that time, he said, I don't care where you play or what you do. Even you can go to a cremation ground and then practice there, but not here, he said. He said, okay, I will go to cremation ground and play. I will practice there. I am not exaggerating, ladies and gentlemen. He practiced harmonium for 10 years in a cremation ground. There was a small temple in the cremation ground in Dharwad, and in that temple he was sitting and he was practicing the harmonium.
This is Vasant Kankapur.
This is Vasant Kankapur. Today he is one of the famous harmonium players in this country, as well as he has visited abroad also. Not only that, he had a couple of students. There was one lady student also by name Vanamala, and she had to be taught the vocal, but it was not allowed in the room. So she used to go to that cremation ground and learned vocal music from him in that environment. That is also another extreme example. And he used to say that every day when we used to come back from the practice, a bucket of water was kept ready outside, and our family people used to pour that water because our customary required that those who come from cremation ground have to take a bath. So like that, Dharwad people have done a lot many struggling in achievement. Another example I'll just give you. A few of the Kolhapur people had been to Bombay to listen to the Bade Ghulam Ali Khan, the Bade Ghulam music. After that music, they thought that they should have that same music in Kolhapur also for the benefit of the other audiences who could not come to Bombay. They requested Bade Ghulam, please come to Kolhapur. He said, no, they are all silly places. I don't come to those places. Then they sent a message, they came to Kolhapur, explained to the Maharaj of Kolhapur at that time. He requested the Bade Ghulam to come to Kolhapur, and then he agreed, Bade Ghulam agreed to come to Kolhapur. But those people who have been insulted in Bombay by Bade Ghulam, they wanted to teach him a lesson also. So they said, what can be done now? So one of those people who knew an artist who can beat Bade Ghulam in those days, I'm telling them, who can beat Bade Ghulam Ali and then impress upon him as this part of the this place is also well developed and people can understand music very well and they are matured in music also. They selected a young boy. He was about 21 years old, very lean, not good looking at that time, with that age. But he agreed to come and give a performance in Kolhapur during the visit of Bade Ghulam. He gave a performance so well, Bade Ghulam could not perform in his full, exponential or full capacity. And later when he ended his program, he felt that his program was much inferior to the program of that younger boy. Then he shouted, "You have brought me here to insult from a small boy." Do you know who is that small boy? He is Mallikarjun Mansur at that time, at the age of 21. Another, just it's the last one example I'll just give you. The same Bade Ghulam had come to Dharwad. There was one Mr. Gurutu, who was a police officer. He was the police officer in Belgaum, and after retirement he came to Dharwad. He is related to that Shobha Gurutu. And that Gurutu family in Dharwad also had association with musicians. So that Gurutu invited Bade Ghulam to come to his house just for casually. So he was a very fat man. Bade Ghulam was a very fat man. And one of his relations went to station to pick up Bade Ghulam in an Austin car, which was a baby Austin car. It was so small. And in the station only they had to push him inside. And when he